Taylor wants to betray the men. She's in with the girls, she was out with the girls, and now she wants to make out with the boys and send them home.
Oh my gosh, that's Julie saying that.
Brother.
Julie would never say that.
I mean, where do I even begin? I guess, first of all, I must say I was wrong yesterday. I can admit when I'm wrong. Apparently, Daniel's fried blonde hair is appealing to Taylor. Who knew? Who knew? You put alcohol in this house and suddenly the girls go a little wild. Now, before we get to Taylor and Daniel, I'm going to start with Alyssa and Kyle, because these two have seemed like a budding possible romance over the past few days. And yesterday, Alyssa, even before she was drinking, told Kyle about the girls' alliance.
But like it was me basically on day one, being like, alright, let's get all the girls together, but then Brittany's been acting weird and we're like, I can't have her back and she's gonna like do weird things.
So Alyssa has become someone that gives Kyle info, even though I don't feel like she gets that much back from Kyle. She gets some, but not a lot. And I feel like this is going to be a tool for Kyle in this game, even though Kyle already friend-zoned her, basically, and kind of harshly. And if there's any actual stalking going on in this house, it isn't Taylor stalking Daniel. It is Alyssa stalking Kyle. She followed Kyle everywhere last night. Alyssa shaking her butt, wondering if Kyle's watching. This is her thought process. Hey, let me shake it again and turn around and see if Kyle's watching this time. No. Although Alyssa was ready to flirt with anyone with a pulse once she started drinking. That included Terrence, even though she was just flirting. It wasn't anything serious. But now, on one hand, I'm wondering if this is great strategy from Kyle. On the outside looking in, on a game level, it is good strategy from Kyle. It doesn't put a target on his back, and it keeps Alyssa maybe giving him info. Although friend-zoning her maybe doesn't keep that line of info coming as strong, but I don't think Alyssa's going to give up on Kyle despite the rejection. So I do think it is a good tool for Kyle to get information about the girls' alliance. Alyssa has since told Nicole and Amira. She hasn't told anybody about their girls' alliance, even though she just told Kyle yesterday. But then I wonder, sometimes there's certain ways to make production like you more, and I think that's also good game playing. I could be giving away trade secrets here, honestly, because I produce some games and web series here. For me as a producer, I like when players are either causing chaos or playing really hard or even really good at confessionals. Those are the things that can make me want to keep a player around in a game and try and maybe in confessionals make other players like those players. But if you're boring and you want to create these big alliances, you're damn right I will do whatever it takes to try and turn people against those people in confessionals, because that's boring to me. But Griner doesn't do that. Griner doesn't care if there's boring big alliances. Griner doesn't care that her show is completely falling apart in the ratings because the show is basically unwatchable these days. No, all Griner and Meehan care about over the past decade or two has been showmances. And we've already seen that once Monty rejected Taylor, even though I don't think Taylor wanted anything to do with him either, but Monty talked about how the DR was pushing them to as a couple, and then Monty has caused these huge problems for Taylor. We saw that Monty got a terrible edit in the episodes, and rightfully so, although I do think the fact that the show continues to try and protect the white players from microaggressions, but could easily throw Monty under the bus and make him look like the big villain in that, is why this show will continue to not have any progress on social levels. So the editing actually is terrible, but we see that Monty rejected the showmance the producers wanted, and he got a terrible edit. So I do wonder if Kyle rejecting Alyssa as a showmance might make producers not like Kyle either. So on a game level, I think Kyle was playing really well, but on that bigger 4D chess level with the production, I don't know if Kyle's gonna be so hot. But let's move on to Taylor and Daniel. So before I start this, let's say once for all that Taylor has done no stalking of Daniel. If anything, and I've made count of this for the past 3 days, I've seen Daniel walk into more rooms that Taylor's in than Taylor walk into more rooms than Daniel's in. So Daniel getting this into his mind is just still weird to me. However, Taylor did admit having a crush on Daniel.
So you like Daniel?
I don't like him. I want to
But
make
you
out
wanna
with
make
him.
out with
I want to
him.
make out
No,
with
you
him.
want to fuck
Also,
him. That's what that is.
And so yesterday, maybe I was wrong. Maybe fried blonde hair is appealing. Maybe we are back in the year 2001. Now, she did later say that she just wants to make out with him. She doesn't actually like him, and she might use this on a strategic level to flirt with him. And the funny thing is that it has kind of worked. I mean, Nicole and Daniel, after Taylor flirted with him for a few minutes, seems to have made some headway in maybe working with Taylor next week, or hoping Taylor wins the HOH next week to get out another big guy. And I feel like because this house is basically middle school, the fact that Taylor admitted to the girls to having a crush on the house seems to have made her seem more human to them. Despite her being human this whole time, Taylor has not talked shit about anybody in this game. I've never seen it on feeds. But she's had all this vitriol against her in the shadows because of the toxic environment. So she doesn't even know all of this shit that's been said about her in the game. She doesn't know that Daniel thinks she's been stalking her these past few days, which has not been the case. But now that Daniel might be onto the fact that she has a crush on him, I think that helps her relationship with Daniel. It has helped her relationship with the girls. It's kind of a joke that this is what helps her relationship with people in the house. This middle school bullshit. And I see the fan base of Taylor freaking out about this because they want to defend her at every point, and her actually admitting to having a crush on Daniel doesn't do her any good. So they want to blame it on the alcohol. And maybe that is the case. We can blame it on the alcohol because a lot of the girls last night had some shit to say about the guys in the house. Indy has said since day one that Monty is her type, but Indy has a boyfriend outside of this house, so she has not been able to do anything about that. Indy's been trying to keep it good, keep it strong, not cheat, basically.
Like, are you going to? Oh, let's go outside. And he look at me like, Monty. Yeah, I'm like, don't look at me. Bye.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Cut out of my face.
It's hard.
Oh, the camera, no.
Oh my gosh. I
No,
think,
but I'm okay.
yeah, you stayed strong and I'm really proud of you. I am.
My friends are probably dying.
But with all of this, I want to say that, guys get this rep for being horny all the time, and all we think about is sex, and you're not wrong. But women have those same feelings too. Women can be horny. I'm sure drinking speeds that up. So Alyssa, Taylor flirting yesterday, Indy having an attraction to Monty. Human beings. I don't think it's bad that girls want to make out and girls want to fuck. So I don't like the slut shaming. It's human nature. I will also say this, and I know this firsthand as somebody who has gotten into my 30s in recent years, that girls in their 20s seem to like guys that are 5 to 10 years older. I know other guys around my age where this is a thing. So the freaking out over Daniel, on one hand I understand it because he talks all the shit about her. He's terrible. He's pretty racist about her. But she doesn't know any of this, so all the shit talking happens behind her back because these people are pussies. But I guess if there is any lesson in any of this for any of you guys out there that are over 30 and single. I'm not single, so I can't try this out. But if any of you are out there, you need to fry your hair, and then you need to fry it again. It needs to be double fried, and dye that shit blonde, and you might just have a beauty queen wanting to make out with you. So that's one lesson we've learned from Big Brother 24 so far. As for other people's games, Jasmine has a bad sprain, so maybe she isn't faking it. Although I would need somebody out there to let me know if other players have gotten this confirmation from production, or if Jasmine is just saying this is what her test's shown and is playing it off that she's this hurt. But if she is this hurt, should she really be able to still play? Do we really need to see another Christmas? The bad part is for production, they already lost Paloma and had to change their twist, and we're going to get some sort of duo twist coming that they probably don't want to lose Jasmine to. So we're stuck with a player that can't participate in like 80% of competitions. On Survivor, any injury, you're basically out. On Big Brother, that doesn't seem to be the case. Pooch is still starting to gain confidence that he's staying again, even though a couple days ago him and Turner were figuring things out. But now he seems to think he's staying again. The blind side will probably be ruined hours before the eviction because the show can never have blind sides. But it is funny that he still thinks he's staying for now, getting that confidence. And I'm sure the house will flip-flop. There's still... because of the schedule this week, the live eviction's on Friday, so I don't know if the live eviction will be taped on Thursday or not, or if it actually will be on Friday. So either way, there's still a lot more days until this next eviction. I still feel overall that Nicole and Amira have the better heads in the house as far as everyone is concerned. I do think Amira does a little too much talking. So I actually like Nicole's game a little more. The bad part of Nicole's game is I think she's a little too obvious about things than she thinks she is. I honestly think Taylor is also... I have to give her credit. She came into this game with the house totally against her on night 1. They're starting to build against her after night 1. So she kind of had this really rough start. Turning it around early in the game can pay off, though. So... we'll see if she keeps doing this. With the high school mentality of the house, she's able to do that after admitting she has a crush, which I think, once again, sums up the cast.
Dude, I already showered. I'm just dirty.